So the Black River, the Tombigbee River, and right over Laurel, you are seeing some of that flooding because of the water nearby. Now, as for the rain, you've had your problems with flooding in Georgia today, northern and really kind of north central Georgia, including the Atlanta area, still underneath some flood alerts because of the very heavy rains that move through, and the runoff will take a while to leave. So we're not quite out of the woods yet, even though the rain is basically done. Here's that heavy rain shield that gave us all these issues from the Gulf straight on through Georgia into the Carolinas. There are a couple of areas of bigger concern within this rain shield, and that's further south from Apalachicola and the Bay up through Tallahassee into South Georgia. That is where the best chance of that severe weather will be. In fact, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Here's Tifton. If you're familiar with traveling down I-75, that's one of the big travel stops along the way. Right now, you notice this kind of backwards C shape, a comma head and a backwards C. That's indicative of very gusty winds that you'll be featuring along that kind of bulk of the comma. The comma head may show a little bit of rotation. We're seeing that kind of circle pattern in here. That's an area that we're going to watch for any rotating winds, potentially tornadoes, if they're going to form, would form in there. We'll continue to follow that very carefully. But for now, straight line wind is the biggest threat with that storm system. A little further south, heavy rain about to enter Tallahassee. Of course, that kind of sweep that you're seeing is the radar beam. That's the radar site in Tallahassee. So that heavy rain is moving right towards the National Weather Service office in Tallahassee. Heavy rain goes all the way down to the Gulf Coast and actually extends into the Gulf. And some of this rain is going to continue to kind of surge north and east. So the rest of the Big Bend, North Florida, South Georgia, the Carolinas, you're not done yet. You've got more rain on the way. In fact, we can time this out for you. Using our high-resolution modeling, look at all that surge of moisture coming into play here in the southeast through the rest of today into this evening before finally that line of storms goes off the coast and really fizzles out by later on this evening. But until that happens, we still have a severe weather threat. We're looking at severe weather, the red painted in North Florida into coastal Georgia, South Carolina, much of North Carolina, and southern Virginia through the rest of today. Spotty damaging winds, probably the biggest threat along that line of storms, but we could see isolated tornadoes. It is certainly not out of the question as we go through the rest of today. Look at a place like Jacksonville through the rest of today, and you're staying with increasing clouds through the bulk of the afternoon hours, and then you go into the evening. That's when the line of storms approaches you. Hit or miss storms by 4 p.m., some rain lingering through the evening, and then it should finally clear on out of here. But until that happens, you're not done yet. And southerly winds are kind of fueling the atmosphere, making things a little bit more unstable, so you do have that chance of stormy weather on the way. That's definitely something that we're going to be watching, Alex. Over to you.
We shall. Meanwhile, we take a look at how things are faring for you in Detroit. That's on the left. Cloudy skies out there for you at this hour. Then we head to the east in Portland, Maine, where we have been dealing with some precip coming down in the form of freezing rain. But a lot of that moisture has now left you there in the Portland area. So we're getting a chance to dry out, and we should see some warmer conditions set up for us as well. Now, this is all after a coast-to-coast journey across the U.S. that took a full week. Winter Storm Frona finally about to get out of here, but let's track this thing here. Still bringing us some impacts, but again, the bulk of the precip now here on the East Coast shifting out to sea. So Portland, you're dry. Boston's getting a chance to see things drying out as well. 37 degrees, a few lingering sprinkles here and there, but for the most part, the bulk of the shower activity getting out of here. Some showers trying to develop back across parts of New York State. Some of that's going to try to work its way up into Maine, and that could be problematic as we head on into the afternoon. And still finding ourselves dealing with snow here in the Great Lakes. Chicago, you've been in and out of it, in it right now at 29 degrees. Green Bay, much colder, also finding some snow there for you. So as we head through the rest of our afternoon, snow will continue here back around the western Great Lakes. Still that chance for some showers here in the east. Better chance for any frozen precip to be up into parts of Maine where the cold air will hang around a little bit longer there. Then as we get into the late evening, showers here for us along the immediate coast and then back around the Great Lakes with some colder air coming in. We do have that potential for some lake effect snow, cold air over those relatively milder lake waters. Then we look towards the early week because here comes the next system. Clipper system here, very fast mover that's going to come in out of Canada and dive into the portions of the Midwest. Already out ahead of that, winter storm watch is being posted by some of the National Weather Service offices here. So potential for some significant snow that could lead to some travel problems in these areas. So here it is, diving in out of Canada, going to be riding its way along the jet stream here, that storm track from the northern plains, and eventually work its way towards the east coast. So tomorrow, here we are, parts of Montana, the Dakotas. You'll see it getting in towards Des Moines by about the afternoon. And then Monday night, Chicago, you're dealing with it spreading its way towards Cleveland and Pittsburgh. And then by Tuesday, it's now your turn in the Northeast. Quick check on those totals here for us, because we could see a pretty decent swath of 5 to 8 inches across the Midwest into the Great Lakes. Mark?
Well, Arctic cold gripping parts of the plains this morning, and that cold continues to move south. When you should expect a warm-up on the way, and which cities will just continue to get colder. We'll tell you all this next.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 82. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, afternoon showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Saving and smiling. That's how I start the year. With tons of stuff on rollback, clearance, and more at Walmart. And that really puts a smile on my face.
Thousands of items on rollback and clearance, in-store and online.
Americans drink 48 billion bottles of water every year. That's enough plastic bottles to stretch around the Earth 230 times. Each Brita filter can replace 300 of those. Clean, clear Brita water. Nothing is better.
She inspires you. No question about that. But your erectile dysfunction? That could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
I like it when my hygienist lets me know I'm doing a good job. I like it when my toothpaste lets me know too. That's why I went pro.
Go pro with Crest Pro Health for an intensive clean.
I can really feel this deep cleaning my mouth.
For a 4 times better clean, try these products together.
That was a great checkup.
When heartburn comes creeping up on you, fight back with relief so smooth, it's fast. Tums Smoothie starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue and neutralizes stomach acid at the source. Smoothies, only from Tums.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
If you've ever thought about losing weight, you're not alone. I've thought, I've tried, I failed so many times. My mom, she said, you'd better lose weight or you're gonna end up just like me. That still didn't motivate me until I lost her. I had to do something. I called Nutrisystem and everything changed.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus Kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist or your money back, guaranteed.
I lost the weight, 50 pounds.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes and Craving Crusher shakes, free. New food selections, new expert guides. Call now and lock in 2014 prices, and shipping is free.
You're not alone. Millions of people have lost weight on Nutrisystem, and you can too.
Call now, 888-316-THIN, and lose your first 5 pounds fast.
So you're saying you're going to give me my credit score for free, right? And then you're going to ask me for my credit card so you can charge me on the down low. 2 weeks later, look, Credit Karma.
Oh, are you talking to websites again?
It's saying free credit score.
Credit Karma? Yeah, it's actually free. Look, you don't have to put in your credit card information. Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really free.
Fist bump.
Well, dangerous wind chills will be a big factor for millions of people in the coming days. But why does wind make you feel even colder? And how do our bodies try to protect us from it? Well, here's Sam Champion with a demonstration that will have you shivering in today's Brainstorm.
The equation used to calculate the effect of wind on the human body during cold weather, or wind chill, looks like this. So to get a less complicated look at the physiological effects of wind chill, we enlisted Josh Garcia from our Brainstorm team to be a guinea pig and step inside our custom lab, an ice truck. To monitor respiratory and heart rates, we've equipped Josh with a high-tech bioharness and an ingestible thermometer that will track his core body temperature.
All right, Josh, this is going to measure your core temperature.
Yes.
It's an internal thermometer. I'm going to have you drink this water.
Right.
Down it goes.
For a baseline test, the truck is chilled to an ambient, windless temperature of 20 degrees. At this rate, frostbite could occur in as little as 30 minutes.
All right, we're about 10 minutes in, and my core body temperature is actually dipped about a half a degree, which may not seem like a lot, but it feels like a lot.
Our infrared thermometer shows Josh's surface temperature is just 41 degrees. And after 20 minutes, Josh's heart rate slowly increases to above 90 beats per minute. Now, to simulate a 20-degree wind chill, we raise the ambient temperature to 31 degrees, but add a 15-mile-per-hour wind.
Josh, how you doing up there?
I've had better days, Nick.
In normal conditions, the human body radiates heat, which forms a layer of warm air that shields the ambient temperature from the skin. But wind blows that away, making your skin more vulnerable to the cold. So although the ambient temperature was more than 10 degrees higher, the wind chill made his core body temperature fall by half a degree, while areas of his skin actually dropped to below 40 degrees. But one major difference from the first test was Josh's heart rate. In an effort to maintain a safe core body temperature in cold weather, glucose stores are processed up to 5 times faster. This increases the body's ability to burn fat and gives the skeletal muscles fuel to shiver, both which generate heat energy. And during the final 90 seconds of this demonstration, this causes Josh's heart rate to spike at 171 beats per minute, or about 90% of his max.
My heart is beating out of my chest. It's close to my max.
This increased heart rate is what effectively keeps Josh safe while enduring the wind.
I'm freezing. I really can't say I've endured temperatures this cold before in my entire life.
And that process of thermal regulation, the body's effort to regulate its temperature, is a lot of work. The wind chill triggered a spike in Josh's heart rate, about 25% higher than a cyclist's during the Tour de France. And you've been Brainstorm. Sam Champion, the Weather Channel.
Thanks, Sam. And a lot of people will be feeling that chill over the next couple of days. A big Arctic cold shot from the middle to later portion of the week. Look at Oklahoma City. By Wednesday, your high is 21, significantly below the average high of 49. So we already have one cold shot that's in play here, but a second cold shot will be even more powerful, engulfing the eastern two-thirds of the country. Really packing a punch. Today, already a little bit chilly. Oklahoma City 29, Kansas City 16. Tomorrow, a slight moderation down towards towards the south, but then our next blast of cold air comes into play. You start to see those cold colors coming back onto the map across the northern tier and the center of the country. Alex, more cold air on the way.
And we continue to track severe storms as well. That's marching the parts of the south. In fact, newly issued now tornado watch. Storm Prediction Center issuing this for North Florida, southeastern Georgia into South Carolina. That tornado watch in effect until 6 o'clock this evening. We'll have more on this up next.
Latte or Olay, cozy or cool, exactly the way you want it. Until boom, it's bedtime. Your mattress is a battleground of thwarted desire. Enter the Sleep Number bed. Save $300 on the final closeout of the C3 Queen mattress set. He's the softie. His Sleep Number setting is 35. You're the rock at 60. And snoring? Sleep Number's even got an adjustment for that. Only at a Sleep Number store. Find the lowest prices of the season with the C3 Queen mattress set, only $1199.98, plus 24-month special financing on all beds. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
We're taking outdoor living to the extreme. The Ultimate Sportsman's Lodge. Take these amazing mountain views, add in some wild neighbors, and you have every outdoorsman's dream.
Look at this view.
It's high-tech, handcrafted, and full of surprises and celebrity outdoor enthusiasts. Tom Brokaw, Huey Lewis, and Jim Belushi. Come inside the Ultimate Sportsman's Lodge. New series, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Great American Country.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 82. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, afternoon showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
When heartburn comes creeping up on you, fight back with Relief So Smooth. It's fast. Tums Smoothie starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue and neutralizes stomach acid at the source. Smoothies, only from Tums.
A new look from Men's Warehouse is the perfect way to step into the new year. For 4 days only, take an additional 50% off all clearance items. Plus, buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Confidence sold here, only at Men's Warehouse.
Enjoy more enthusiasm at mealtime with more varieties of favorite dog food brands at PetSmart. Right now, save $5 on select Royal Canin pet food. Plus, save up to $9 on select Eukanuba pet food. PetSmart.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-491-1389. That's 1-800-491-1389. Call now, 1-800-491.
If I were to define the word foodie, I would say it's someone who has great passion and love for food. Cooking is very social. Cooking is very joyful, and I think that needs to be shared with the people that you care most about. One of the biggest reasons that our QVC foodies connect with me is that I meet them where they live. I'm not a chef. I'm a home cook just like they are. And each and every show we're learning together and we're sharing our passion for wonderful food. And I think that's why our relationship is so strong. I'm David Venable, QVC's resident foodie.
What is a vacation? A slice of time, a peace of mind, a break, an escape, that need you want. It's the place you dream of. It's paradise. It's romance. It's choices. All included, all unlimited. Forget what you left behind. Live the now. No schedules, all desires. Night falls, day breaks, you wake up beautiful. Different, connected. Two hearts, one soul. This is the time of your life. This is Sandals. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
And even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
Look at this! Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Severe weather continues to roll across the southeast. A brand new tornado watch has been issued by the Storm Prediction Center, lasting until this evening, 6 o'clock Eastern time. The Florida Panhandle and North Florida, coastal Georgia, and South Carolina included within this watch, from Tallahassee to Savannah to Charleston and everywhere in between. Now, within this area, we've been watching this broken line of storms making its way from west to east across the southeast. And right now, we do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings within this line of storms. Look at right here east of 75, just east of Tifton now. Gusty winds reported here, Berrien, Cook, and Tift counties. Severe thunderstorm warning until 12:15. And a little bit further north, we have another severe thunderstorm warning just outside the Eastman area over Dodge County. This goes until noon. Also, the biggest threat here is the wind. Again, the southeast under a new tornado watch until 6 o'clock. But it's not just the warm side of things and the severe weather that we're watching. We also have the cold side of this storm and winter weather, a big story today too.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like we've been tracking this winter storm named Frona forever. Yeah. Finally going to start to get out of here, but then we've got more in line as we head into the early part of the week. All right, let's track this thing here as we move our way into our rest of the day and into next week. As many head back to work, we'll return back to work after the new year. We've got our winter storm Frona pushing east right now, still bringing us some snow showers here around Chicagoland. You've been dealing with that snow for a good chunk of the morning, and that continues. Temperatures are in the mid-20s. Teens in Green Bay, and seeing some snow coming back into now Grand Rapids. Meanwhile, a little bit farther off towards the east, we've seen it settle down here up into New England. Portland, you've been dealing with freezing rain, but look at the precipitation. That's shifted now out over to the open water, so we're getting a chance to dry out there. Temps are in the upper 20s. 37 in Boston, so well above freezing. No need to worry about freezing issues there. And the shower activity should start to taper off before long as well. So let's take you through the rest of your Sunday. Still some snow to deal with here back across the Great Lakes, and can't rule out a few showers still continuing here in the Northeast, although it will be very spotty. The area that we will watch for, though, is the Maine, where it'll be cold enough, and with some precip moving back in this afternoon, could still deal with more of a wintry mix there before we dry out later tonight. Then colder air coming in over the still unfrozen lake waters, and that sets the stage for some lake effect snow. So that's something we'll deal with heading into tonight. Then we've got the Clipper system coming in for the early part of our week. Yeah, this next storm system diving southeast out of Canada, and already in anticipation of this thing, out ahead of it, winter storm watches are in place. National Weather Service offices here in the Midwest issuing these, including around Chicago, because of the potential for significant snow that could lead to some travel problems here. So here's where it's coming from. Again, coming out of Canada, this Clipper system, because it's a fast mover, named after Clipper ships, which move pretty fast, that'll dive its way southeast, following along the jet stream, that storm track here for us, and leave a swath of snow beginning here across portions of the northern Rockies and then sliding towards the south and the east. Now, generally, these things don't dump a lot of snow. They're very fast moving, and they don't have a ton of moisture to really work with. But this one may have a little bit more extra lift with it to help some of the snow get going. So we could see some snow piling up particularly here in the Midwest, where we could see 5 to 8 inches of snow in and across parts of Iowa, Illinois, and working your way on into portions of even Indiana. And then working your way into the Northeast, we'll see some of this snow pile up, generally 1 to 3 inches, and then some of the bigger totals coming in east of the Great Lakes as the lake effect tries to get going and enhance some of the snowfall we see there. Mark?
Thanks, Alex. And don't forget, it is Wild Card Weekend, and although both games today are in domes and thus inside, your tailgating and your travel definitely at play here with regards to the weather. Look at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, where there may even be a couple of flurries, but the bigger factor for your tailgating plans, and, well, if you have a high-profile vehicle, the wind. Winds 20 to 30 miles per hour, so it will feel cold out there. It will be blustery. It's both hands on the wheel driving. Speaking of cold, how about Texas? Arlington, as the Lions come into play, Dallas is just making the Lions feel at home. Low to mid-30s throughout the day. It is going to be a chilly one in North Texas.
I wish it was outdoors.
I know. Football should be outdoors.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a purist that way. If it's okay for Green Bay and New York, it's good enough for Texas.
I agree.
Whatever. Thanks for joining us today on Weather Center Live.
That's right, Weather Geeks, that is coming up next. Hope you enjoy your Sunday, everyone. Of course, stay safe for those folks who are having to deal with some of that wintry weather, and bundle up as we head into next week.
Updates throughout the day on severe weather.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 82. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, afternoon showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hello and welcome to Weather Geeks, and happy football season. I know this is a time that many people have been waiting on. It is finally here, the NFL football season. Joining me today is Warrick Dunn, Florida State star running back, spent 12 NFL seasons, 3 Pro Bowl selections in the 10,000 rushing yard club. It's really an honor to have Warrick here with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it. I'm almost 11,000, so let me go ahead and get that plug. Almost 11.
As meteorologists, we want to get stats right. It's also very important to us, so we'll make sure we get that. You know, it's really a pleasure to have you here today. We just want to talk to you about some of the things that you've experienced as an NFL and a college player in terms of weather. I mean, as a player, did you think about weather consciously before you were preparing a game? Or
well, growing up in the South, I'm used to playing on grass and in heat. And when you play pro football, even in college, you go up north, those guys play in thick grass, and it's usually a little cool outside. Right. So I had to get adjusted to that early on in my career, and it was some cold games.
Yeah, I often wondered when a guy gets drafted by Green Bay Packers, are they saying, "Oh my gosh"? I mean, in terms of playing in snow, particularly a guy from the South like yourself, when you have to go and play in a place like Green Bay or Minnesota, what's it like when you get down to those sub-freezing temperatures, snow on the ground? Any special preparation?
Well, it's definitely, one, it's a mindset. I think overall it's challenging because when you don't play in that every day, or you're not practicing it, and you go for a game, you have to get your mindset right. But it's also little ins and outs that as you become a veteran, really understanding how you prepare to play in the cold weather. You may lube up a little bit, you wear enough clothing so it don't restrict you from running. But we did a bunch of things, and it's also having the cleats, because usually when it's cold, you're playing outside on the grass. It's slippery, so the cleats are a lot longer. So you get adjusted.
So the cleats are a different size.
Yeah, you have different sizes, usually like 3/4 inches spikes that you have. But at the same time, when the balls snap, you're not thinking about the cold. You're trying to protect yourself or play the game. So it's a point where you're not thinking about the cold, but when you're stopping, you know it's cold. You can feel it.
Well, what about rain, or were there particular weather types that you just hated playing in? Extreme heat, rain conditions?
Well, I grew up in the South. Sometimes it's tough to play in extreme heat, only because you have to hydrate. You constantly have to drink water. You're sweating a lot. Ball gets slippery. I've played in rain where I took off the gloves, still had a productive day, and you have to not rush, but I would say you're moving in a hurry, but you're not, trying to go 100% because you have to make sure you're able to plant, cut, and do those things. But,
Now, picking up on that, do the coaches have any special game planning changes? Is there, if they see it's going to be raining that day, for example? Or?
Well, you may put more of an emphasis on the running game. If you're a passing team, you may run the football a little bit more because it's all about the line of scrimmage. If you can control the line of scrimmage, if the ball's going to be slippery, I think more coaches would tend to want to run the football more, but you're going to take your shots in a passing game, and I think that translates to a cold game. When it's cold, you want to run the football. I mean, trying to throw the football and catch the football. Sometimes, those gloves, it gets a little stiff. I mean, I played in some cold games where I couldn't even feel my fingers. So you have to, control the line of scrimmage up front with the Hogs and those things, but you have to try to grind it out. And those games usually are grind out games. It's not big scoring games.
Now, I know you spent a good part of your career in Tampa Bay, and as meteorologists know, that's the lightning capital of the U.S. And so I'm particularly interested in early part of the season, lightning storms. Was there a big problem with that? And more importantly, how do we get the fans out in a situation where we got lightning in the area?
Well, in Tampa, we were always practicing. If it's a lightning strike, no one's going to take a chance of getting struck by lightning. So we used to always have to call practice and do more walkthrough. Sometimes that takes away from your preparation because you need the physical, intense running and hitting each other. But overall, I just think, they have protocols in place for weather, and whenever it's a lightning strike within so many miles of the stadium or field, they're always urging people to go for cover, protect themselves. So they're not going to put the fans and definitely the players in harm's way.
Yeah, well, I know that's been a big concern. I was watching a few Major League Baseball games this year, and there was lightning in the area, and there were some concerns about getting the people out of there. But I want to talk about something else. One of my colleagues at the University of Georgia does research on football players and heat. And heat is a sort of a hidden killer in the weather world. It actually kills more people than any weather event. How do you know, or can that heat stress or heat sickness sneak up on you as a player, particularly with all that padding on?
Well, it can. I mean, I was one of those guys when I played. I used to dehydrate like that. If I ran out and it was hot and I had my pads on, I used to have to get IVs all the time.
Oh, wow.
So I was one of those guys that, didn't have a lot of body fat, and I was always constantly being watched, trying to drink a lot of fluids, getting IVs so that, I can always be on the football field. But you think about all the kids that play this game, and they play in the South, and it's hot. You have to take those extra breaks, have more precaution for kids, and trying to make sure they have enough fluids, but also they have to eat healthy. You have to do those things at home, so when you get to the football field and put all those pads, they're better equipped to sustain that heat.
And now, people know you as an outstanding college and NFL football player, but they may also know that you've been an outstanding philanthropist of giving back to the community. I want to congratulate you. I know you recently got your MBA as well.
I appreciate that.
Tell us a little bit about some of your charity work and your foundation and others.
Yeah, so I started work doing charities in 2002. I have a flagship program called Homes for Holidays where we assist single parents who becoming first-time homeowners, and that's giving them a $5,000 down payment, but fully furnishing their homes with food, furniture, linens, garden tools, TVs, computers, you name it, we put it into the home. So we've actually been doing this program longer than 2002, so it's been 17 years now. We're up to 137 individuals that single parents that we've helped. So 3 of them are single fathers. So we've been in Tampa, Atlanta, Baton Rouge, Tallahassee, Lafayette, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Topeka, Kansas.
So really all
we're
over
starting
the
to
place.
expand more on a national level, and we have a 92% success rate with these families that we've helped over the 17 years.
Okay.
And we also have another program called Betty's Hope, where we do mobile grief support sessions.
Can I
for
cut
kids.
you off, and
Yes.
we can maybe get a little bit more in as we get to the next segment on that?
Okay.
Because coming up next on Weather Geeks, we're going to take a look at the top 5 weather games in terms of NFL in history. See if you can guess what's number 1 next on Weather Geeks.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So we said, if you need Safelite to come to the zoo, we'll come to the zoo. Oh yeah, we can fix that. Only Safelite can fix your windshield anywhere in the U.S. with our exclusive mobile glass shops and our one-of-a-kind True Seal technology for a reliable bond.
Thanks so much.
Service that fits your schedule. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
If you've ever thought about losing weight, you're not alone. I've thought, I've tried, I failed so many times. My mom, she said, you'd better lose weight or you're gonna end up just like me. That still didn't motivate me until I lost her. I had to do something. I called Nutrisystem and everything changed.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus Kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist or your money back, guaranteed.
I lost the weight, 50 pounds.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes and Craving Crusher shakes, free. New food selections, new expert guides. Call now and lock in 2014 prices, and shipping is free.
You're not alone. Millions of people have lost weight on Nutrisystem, and you can too.
Call now, 888-316-THIN, and lose your first 5 pounds fast.
Tonight at 9. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Tonight at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 82. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, afternoon showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Ride on the most treacherous highway in the world to experience the high risk of heavy rescue. Highway Through Hell, Sundays at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Curling up in bed with a favorite book is nice, but I think women would rather curl up with their favorite man. But here's the thing. About half of men over 40 have some degree of erectile dysfunction. Well, Viagra helps guys with ED get and keep an erection. And remember, you only take it when you need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
I smoked a lot and quit a lot, but ended up nowhere. Now I use this.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent the urge to smoke all day.
I want this time to be my last time. That's why I choose Nicoderm CQ.
welcome back to Weather Geeks. I'm joined by the great Warrick Dunn, fellow Florida State Seminole, NFL great. And remember to check out Warrick Dunn Charities if you want more information on what Warrick was talking about earlier. But now we're going to take a look at the top 5 weather NFL games of all time. So let's start off with the 75 AFC Championship game. That was 1976. Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. You know anything about that game? It's a really bitterly cold day, cold frozen turf.
Well, you know, I was just being born,
yes.
I think. But that was a cold game. You know, old
22 temperature, 22
yeah,
degrees.
old school guys. I really don't even know how they did it back then. I mean, not enough padding.
Right, yeah, and you know the Pittsburgh Steelers won that game, so you might say they had a little bit of a home field advantage over the Oakland Raiders, who were used to basically the same temperature at all times in the Bay Area. Winds blew the tarp off the field before the game. It was just a very cold, sort of bitter day. So I can't imagine what it would be like as a running back playing in those kind of conditions, having the ball hitting your hands.
Well, sometimes it's really those games are for like those big guys, those hogs. You know, back in the day. I mean, you used to have those hogs, real big running backs that like the pound.
Yeah, well, like the Freezer Bowl. I mean, 81 playoffs. I mean, you had the Bengals and the San Diego Chargers. Yeah. I believe this was the coldest game in terms of both wind chill and temperature. That's a combination of temperature and wind. So we had wind chills minus 28, maybe even cooler than that. I mean, have you played in situations like that before?
Yes, I felt like I played in a cold game in Chicago and in Philadelphia in like a nor'easter. I mean, and trust me, that's cold. Right. So I do feel that pain.
Let me hit you with one I don't know if you've experienced. The Fog Bowl. 88 playoffs, Soldier Field. Game started off very nice, but then the second quarter, fog rolled in out of nowhere. People probably thought it was like a Halloween thing going on. I mean, have you played in fog before?
I haven't played in fog. You know, I played in the street in fog, but I hadn't played in a pro game. And it's you just wonder, can you see the guy, see a defender 5 yards in front of you? That's the challenge.
Well, people talk about this game, but I doubt most people actually saw the game. It was so foggy. But what happened in terms of the fog from a meteorological standpoint? Chicago sits right on one of the Great Lakes.
Right.
There are different types of fog, radiation fog, steam fog. This was really more of an advection fog, and we can see some of the examples of what was going on here. You got different temperatures between the land and the lake, and so you get something called advection fog. And this is something, if you think about what happens in San Francisco, rolling in under the Golden Gate Bridge, that's a typical example of advection fog. And then the number 2 weather game, the Tuck Rule game, Foxborough, Massachusetts, the Patriots and the Oakland Raiders. It was heavy snow in that game. What about snow? Have you played in a big snowy event like this?
I have played in snow, and sometimes it's better to play in snow because the temperature is flatline. It can't get any colder, and I think guys actually feel comfortable playing in snow. It's like kids. When you go out those snow, you know, go outside and throw a snowball. So.
Well, see, NFL purists say a good snowy game is great. I personally am not a big fan of watching a game in the snow, but I know there are a lot of fans out there that really like those snowy games. But coming up in our next segment, we're going to talk about what the number 1 football NFL weather game is. I don't know if you figured it out there in the viewership. I don't know if Warrick knows what it is. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to also debunk the myth that last year's Super Bowl was the coldest Super Bowl on record. Stay with us here on Weather Geeks.
But first, our Geek of the Week. Did you know Baltimore Ravens tight end Owen Daniels is a meteorologist? He has a degree from the University of Wisconsin and rode out Hurricane Ike at his home in Texas. He also says, as a kid, classmates teased him for being scared of storms.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
Number 44. Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me! Woo! Gonna get some cold cuts today.
Oh, no. Can you fix it, Dad?
Yeah, I can fix that.
I wanted a car that could handle anything.
I fixed it!
That's why I got a Subaru Legacy.
Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 36 mpg.
I gotta break more toys.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
This is the equivalent of the sugar in one regular soda. And this is one soda a day over an average adult lifetime. But there's a better choice. Drink more Brita water. Clean, refreshing Brita.
I've smoked a lot and quit a lot, but ended up nowhere. Now I use this.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent the urge to smoke all day.
I want this time to be my last time. That's why I choose Nicoderm CQ.
At the end of the day, my hands are beat up.
Especially during the winter times, hands are splitting, cracking, making it very difficult to do my job.
O'Keeffe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
Best stuff we've ever used.
It just works.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
Fire in the hole.
Tonight.
I think we got company.
Oh, wow.
Not the good kind either.
Amanda confronts a claim jumper.
He's waiting for us to leave so he can dig our hole through the night. If he comes up, it's on.
If your child attends public school, you should know something very interesting tends to happen when all students have equal access to a high-quality education. More students excel, and more students succeed. That's why we need equitable implementation of Common Core state standards. Putting Common Core in our schools puts all children first. To learn more, visit putourchildrenfirst.org.
Located in a discreet and tranquil Palm Beach County, Florida setting, the Rehab Center for Women provides expert and compassionate care for women who are suffering from substance abuse, trauma, and mental illness. We offer custom treatment plans, including medical detox and specialized rehab to give women the strength and focus they need to begin living the lives they deserve. You don't have to suffer anymore. Call 888-302-5579 or visit helpforwomen.com to start healing today.
428-1000. Dinovite.com, DINOVITE.com.
Ride on the most treacherous highway in the world to experience the high risk of heavy rescue. Highway Through Hell, Sundays at 10 on the Weather Channel.
This thing is getting bigger and bigger.
Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Never seen anything like this in my life.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, mostly sunny. High 88. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, afternoon showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Geeks, and we're counting down the top 5 worst weather games in NFL history. We've covered the Freezer Bowl and the Fog Bowl, but now it's time for the Ice Bowl. That's the #1 weather game in history, according to many people. The 1967 NFL Championship.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't even a Super Bowl at that point. But what we know is at kickoff, it was about minus 12 degrees.
That's too cold.
That's too cold. I don't know if I'd be sitting there, but those fans are diehard. Average temperature minus 6.5 degrees. This was about minus 24 degrees below normal. I don't know. I mean, just what's your mindset? I mean, in a game like that?
Well, it's like, why are they allowing us to be outside? Let me just be honest with you. It's like that. It's just way too cold to run around and hit a guy. I mean, I played in the cold weather game in Chicago, and we considered it the pillowcase game because no one wanted to hit anybody. And we was like turning our backs the whole time. So I can only imagine before pads are heavy, clothes are heavy back in the day, and these guys just running around banging heads. I mean, I commend them.
It was so cold in that game, the referees couldn't even use their whistles. They were frozen. The University of Wisconsin lacrosse band couldn't play because their instruments froze up. So it was quite an interesting. So if you take a look at the weather setup, interestingly, here in 2014, if we look at the upper level pattern, many people today would probably call that the polar vortex bowl. Now, we dealt with that in another episode of Weather Geeks, but it's a very typical cold pattern that we see. And here we can see some of the stats. Frostbite time, minus 12-degree temperatures, wind speeds 14 miles per hour. So that combined leads to a wind chill of about minus 34 degrees.
Well, that would tell me that I'm drinking chicken broth the whole game. Okay. I mean, you have to try to figure out a way to stay warm. Hot chocolate's not going to work.
Yeah, I imagine that interesting during that game, there was a heating system under the field, but it was broken. Wow. So the field was completely frozen. So it was a big challenge for people. Now, one of the things that we often like to do here in Weather Geeks is debunk myths. And we call that our hail no section. And many people hail as in falling from the sky. But many people often think that last year's the 2014 Super Bowl in New Jersey was the coldest Super Bowl on record. What do you think?
Well, it was pretty cold, and I'm surprised. Most people didn't want a Super Bowl in New York because of that scare of weather. They want to be able to walk outside, shorts, shirts, and those things. But I mean, it got pretty cold in New York.
It was, but believe it or not, if we think about the coldest Super Bowl on record, New Orleans, Super Bowl VI, Tulane Stadium, 1972. 39 degrees at kickoff. New Orleans.
The Big Easy?
You're from that Louisiana area.
I'm from there, so that's definitely a shock. And I think you can have that just because it's so hot and you can go to one extreme to the next real quick and with all that moisture. So I'm kind of surprised, but it gets cold in Louisiana.
To be honest with you, I was quite surprised at that. By the way, that was followed up by the warmest Super Bowl on record. But interestingly enough, many people, including some farmers' almanacs and others, had a big snowstorm forecast for the 2014. Didn't happen. So the lesson there is we have to take into account all of the material and data that we have, and not just one particular source. And that's really the challenge we have. But Warwick, I really want to thank you for joining us here on Weather Geeks. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have you. As we kick off, we're really excited about the football season. It's starting today.
Yeah, I know. And I have to root for those Falcons. Go Falcons. I'm a limited partner, so it's all about the Falcons.
Well, what's your prediction? Who do you think's going all the way this year to the Super Bowl?
I'm rooting for the Falcons.
Okay, going with the home team, Falcons, former team.
With the Falcons.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I can't let this show go by without saying go Noles, since we're both former Seminoles. Sorry to all the OU, Penn State, and other big weather programs out there now. But we really have enjoyed this show. We wanted to have a little fun with this show today, and we thank you all for joining us on Weather Geeks. We look forward to joining us again on the show. Remember, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Weather Geeks, WX Geeks TWC. We hope you join us there. Let us know what you want to see on a future episode of Weather Geeks.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
Audi, proud sponsor of the U.S. Ski Team.
Does your computer run slow?
Come on.
Or just freeze and crash?
No!
Does it take forever to start up?
Still waiting.
You need the amazing Wing Cleaner, the easiest way to get all that hidden junk off your computer. Simply plug in our unique USB, and with just one click, Wind Cleaner starts working automatically. It sorts through your hard drive, eliminating useless files and programs. Within minutes, that slow computer is running like new. Look, the competition is $50, and look at all those no's. Wind Cleaner is just $19.99, and look at all those yeses. Look, over time, everyone's computer's memory fills with junk, cookies, even viruses. But Wind Cleaner instantly starts to clean and repair your PC with just one click, optimizing performance and protecting you from future problems. You get super fast startups, speedy downloads, blazing fast gaming, and a much quicker internet experience. It's got the editor's rating of 5 stars from CNET and rave reviews from PC Answers. So don't buy a new computer, don't pay expensive technicians, and don't buy downloads with hidden charges. Get your own Wind Cleaner USB drive for just $19.99. But wait! Order in the next 5 minutes and you won't pay a penny for shipping. That's right, shipping is on us. It gets better. If you call right now, you can double your order. One for home and one for work. That's 2 Wind Cleaner USB drives and free shipping. Join the millions of customers who have used the Wind Cleaner on their PCs.
Call 1-800-259-0846 to get your Wind Cleaner on this special TV offer. It's not sold in stores, so call now or go to windcleaner.com. So call 1-800-259-0846. That's 1-800-259-0846. Love your PC again with Wind Cleaner. Call now.
This thing is getting bigger and bigger. Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Never seen anything like this in my life.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, mostly sunny. High 88. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, afternoon showers. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Everyone sees the same sky. But when we look up, we see something amazing. This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Fire in the hole.
Tonight,
I think we got company.
Oh, wow.
Not the good kind either.
Amanda confronts a claim jumper.
He's waiting for us to leave so he can dig our hole through the night. If he comes up, it's on.
You have to wait for me to find a pocket so you can take my stones.
Prospectors, new episode tonight at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Today's forecast calls for a high of 900 degrees, a steady rain of sulfuric acid, and an atmospheric pressure high enough to crush your bones. It sounds like hell on Earth, but it's just another day on the planet Venus. Scientists warn that the weather on Venus is a sneak preview of the future on Earth.
Eventually, the Earth will experience a runaway greenhouse. It is just a matter of time.
What would happen if Earth had to face this fate tomorrow?
We would be in deep trouble. We would be fried to a crisp and crushed beyond belief.
Earth's is just one kind of weather. On other planets, there are storms beyond the imagination, climates and conditions that we hope to never see on Earth. But could they happen here? And if so, could we survive deadliest space weather? Imagine waking up one morning to a very different Earth. Our weather has been replaced by some of the hellish weather from Venus. It's not a pretty picture. In fact, as far as life is concerned, it's the end of the world. Our lakes and oceans boil and evaporate. Our cities collapse into blazing infernos. Our monuments dissolve in a torrent of sulfuric acid.
If the weather on Venus were to suddenly descend onto the planet Earth, it would be a bad day.
Venus-like weather on Earth may seem unthinkable, but in fact, most scientists believe that it's inevitable. So they're struggling to understand how things on Venus went so disastrously wrong.
It's kind of a sobering advanced look at what the weather over the really long term is going to be on Earth.
To understand how the weather on Earth could spiral into what scientists call a runaway greenhouse effect, we need to understand how a runaway greenhouse already happened to Venus, a planet that started out a lot like Earth.
Venus is the second planet from the Sun, and it's sometimes called Earth's twin because it's so much like Earth. It's almost exactly the same size, and it has a big cloudy atmosphere. Looking at it from space, you might think it was just like Earth.
But when it comes to weather, the two planets are literally worlds apart.
The major differences between Venus and Earth are that Venus has a much, much thicker atmosphere.
Temperatures are 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than a baker's oven, hotter than the melting point of tin and lead.
You might assume Venus is so hot simply because it's closer to the Sun. But in fact, if you took Earth and moved it as close to the Sun as Venus, global temperatures would merely rise by 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
It would not be so hot that life wouldn't have a problem.
What really makes the weather on Venus so much hotter than Earth is the thickness of its atmosphere. On Earth, the air is a light gas. On Venus, it's a thick, broiling soup.
By far the most significant fact about the weather on Venus is that the atmosphere is roughly 100 times denser than on Earth. And so that dictates every feature of the Venusian weather.
The atmosphere is so thick that walking through it would be like walking through water.
Trying to move against it would be incredibly difficult. You really couldn't move easily through the atmosphere of Venus.
Although surface winds are calm on Venus, even a light breeze could cause problems.
The winds on the surface of Venus are quite slow. They're moving at just a few miles per hour. But because there's 95 times as much atmosphere at the surface of Venus, the wind at a given wind speed has 95 times the amount of ability to kind of pull you along. The whole atmosphere is moving kind of like a river.
A 5 to 10 mile an hour wind would probably knock you over.
As a tourist on Venus, you might feel a lot of pressure to see the sights, but you'd also be under a different kind of pressure, the kind you wouldn't survive.
The pressures on the surface of Venus are about the same as going a half mile down in the ocean. Divers can't go that deep. It's just lethal. It would crush them, and it's the same on the surface of Venus.
Take a car, which weighs 1,500 pounds, and put it on every square inch of your skin. Within seconds, you'd be crushed like an eggshell.
But on Venus, the pressure might not have a chance to kill you because the heat would cook you first. On Earth, the highest temperature ever recorded was on July 10th, 1913 in Death Valley, when the mercury hit 134 degrees. But that would be far colder than the coldest day on Venus.
The temperature on Venus is roughly 800, 900 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hotter than the oven cleaning temperature setting on your oven.
Humans have been exploring Mars for years with remarkable success. But the searing heat of Venus makes exploration practically impossible.
On Mars, we can land a rover down and drive around for 6 years. On Venus, we landed that same rover down, it would start to melt into a pile. Imagine the solder on the electronics just turning into liquid and flowing out.
And unlike Earth, with its wide variety of climates, on Venus, there's nowhere to hide from this inferno.
Because Venus's atmosphere is so